The main way people come into us is generally through lead generation. They're looking for some help on how they can leverage technology to generate more leads for their business.
Meet Charles Nicolson. Charles shows business owners how to grow their company without growing their headcount or adding more hours to their day.
There are a lot of people out there who talk about technology, who talk about what to do, but it's very difficult to know. So we've got some free training programs for business owners around just how they can start incorporating technology into their business.
His offers help you to get more leads, and they start at $97 a month all the way up to $2.5K per month. Today he has 75 clients, and with that he generates $83K a month. That is exactly an annual run rate of $1 million.
We just closed a client that brought us a $150,000 project.
How was revenue last year to also get understand growth a bit?
Yeah, I'd say that sort of doubled since last year.
Welcome Charles Nicolson to the show. Charles shows business owners how to grow their company without growing their headcount or adding more hours to their day. Charles, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matt. Really excited to be here.
Yes, let's start us off with, what's your mission on the planet?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I find there's a lot of businesses and a lot of business owners out there that are scaling their business and maybe have reached a point where they just feel they can't grow any further. And so they're often the next step for them is they think that they just have to hire more staff, right, to grow their business. And oftentimes it comes down to they are a champion in their particular niche, but they're less confident when it comes to how to use technology to keep growing their business. And so I love getting to work with business owners like that I can sort of really help them unlock the full potential of their business by tapping into software solutions, technology that can help them scale without scaling their headcount.
Right. What did you do before in your previous life, and what inflection point made you start your business?
Yeah, so in a previous life, I actually built a large SaaS company of my own. We took it international and it ended up being acquired by a large enterprise business. And so when I sold up in that business, I was kind of looking at what I wanted to do next with life. And having been in that startup world, I got exposed to a lot of different founders, business owners, and I just saw recurring themes all the time of how they would struggle to grow their business beyond a certain point. And so after selling up my last business, I just, the idea of being able to work with different business owners every single day and help them through their challenges with technology was kind of what kind of lit my passion for what I do now.
Right. Good segue to talk about today's offer. So if I were a typical client of yours, what's the core offer that I would buy from you?
So the main way people come into us is generally through lead generation. They're looking for some help on how they can leverage technology to generate more leads for their business. So we have a combination of a training program and some software that we have built that helps them generate leads for their own business.
Right. So it's an on-demand online course, or do you also do group coaching, one-on-one, done for you, done with you? And is it like if I visualize this, is it like a funnel, like you build a funnel for them, or what do you do?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of different options, starting at sort of a lower ticket, which is more a done with you. It starts at $97 a month, and they work with us in a group coaching setting alongside some software that we've built that helps find leads for them through different channels. And then we have a higher ticket offer, which starts at $2,500 setup and $500 a month. And that's more of a done for you solution where we set up everything from funnels to the lead generation into the funnels, and then particularly the assistance with the actual kind of sale and closing process after the leads come in.
Right. And just real quick, like, what do you mean by lead generation? Is it that you, let's say, interact with relevant social media accounts in order to get followers and then go into Instagram DM conversations and from there convert into free content and then paid?
Yeah. So we found that, instead of just say ads where you're putting something out there and hoping the right person is found, our technology looks at what types of posts people are interacting with, what kind of posts they're posting themselves, to see if there's a trend in the type of services they might be looking for, so that we can then direct them to our clients.
Right. If I were to interview some of your clients and ask them what specific value in your offering they rave most about, what will they tell me?
Yeah, so one of the biggest bits of feedback we get is that oftentimes, like particularly at the moment, with downturn in the economy, people are struggling to even know where to find quality clients, right? How to get quality leads. And so I'd say the biggest bit of feedback you would get is that they go from feeling stuck and not knowing where to go, not knowing how to find people or how to close them, to having a really clear sales pipeline and knowing how to convert those people to paying clients ultimately.
Right. What tools do you use to deliver that value to your customers?
Yeah, so we've got a few favorites. So we use Slack a lot for communications. We like ActiveCampaign for drip campaigns. So we do a lot of free content, a lot of free training, and a lot of that is delivered through a combination of our own app and drip campaigns through ActiveCampaign. And then ClickFunnels is our go-to for landing pages.
Take me on a timeline. When did you launch the business as is today with the current offer stack?
So we launched the current business probably about just over 2 years ago now, right, with the current stack. Yep.
Nice. Good segue to talk about success. So how many paying customers do you have today in a typical month?
Yeah, that's a great question. It varies. But I'd say we probably have anywhere between kind of 50 to 100 clients in a typical month.
Right. So let's go with 75. I love to do the numbers in my head. So now it's like 97 to 2.5K a month. Wow. Could be anything. I guess like the majority is on the lower ticket, and then a few on the higher ones. My guess is, let's say 20 people on 2,500. That would be 50K. And then another 75, 50, let's say 50 on 100. That is another 505K. So that is 55, 60-ish. 60-ish K would be my bet a month. What do you think?
It's a good guess. So the one thing I probably haven't talked about, and this is something really where our own app really unlocked things for us, is a lot of our client kind of relationship building comes through the free content and everything we do. A lot of our big ticket, when we're talking really big ticket projects, actually come out of those relationships that we build with these customers. So ultimately, when they go on to say implement a new piece of software, maybe add something new to their stack, then we're often the first person they come to. So to give you kind of the scale of that, we just closed a client that brought us a $150,000 project off the back of one of these programs that we ran. So yeah, your guess is kind of right in terms of the recurring, but then in terms of these bigger ticket projects that it leads to, we can get 50K, 100K or bigger projects out the back end of them. So nice. Definitely figures a month.
So like the 97 to 2.5K a month, these are almost tripwires for the custom clients. Yep. Where you sell 50, 100, 150K. For what's the period? Like 3 months, 6 months, a year? How long is that for 150K?
Yeah, that'll be a 12-month project at that point.
12 months. Okay, so it's another 12K.
Yep.
Okay. What are you projecting for this year? Or like, how was revenue last year to also understand growth a bit?
Yeah, so definitely on target to kind of be well over $1 million.
Nice.
And yeah, I'd say that's sort of doubled since last year.
Amazing. So kind of like 83K is what you need to get the million. Half of that is like 40-ish, 45-ish. And recurring, that's interesting. I came up with like 50 something. He said like there's more to the custom clients, so we came up with another 12. So I would say like 60-70% of that must be then actually recurring almost of that revenue. Could that be?
Yeah, so I guess a lot of it, comes off the training, and then there's usually kind of recurring license fees and a lot of the software that we help implement that kind of adds to our bottom line as well.
Yeah, that's really good. Let's talk about the expenditures real quick. So how big is the team, and what are how's the team structured? And then if I were to have that secret chat with your accountant, what are the big blocks on the cost side of the P&L?
Yeah, so it's a great question. My previous company, we had built up quite a large team, and so we decided quite consciously on this one that we wanted a pretty small core team. Yeah. We have a core team of around, kind of varies between kind of 10 to 15 people at any one time. We moved everybody home during COVID, and everybody's kind of stayed there since then. So our kind of expenditure is very low in that regard. Our biggest cost nowadays is we started dabbling with a little bit of like Facebook and Google advertising. Our own lead generation efforts are still outperforming those, but I can definitely see in terms of scaling that's something that we need to add to our mix as well.
Right. I bet like the profiles would be technical PMs almost, so they can do key account stuff, but they can also set up click funnels and all these tools. So I bet you're not building custom solutions, but you're like plugging tools together based on a playbook that is very effective.
Yeah, so I like to refer to it as the puzzle piece strategy. You know, there's all of these puzzle pieces out there, and knowing which puzzle pieces to bring together at the right time to deliver the outcomes that the client needs. So you're absolutely the right combination of sort of project managers, a few developers, and then just really clever technical people that know how to tie all these things together.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really good. Let's talk about customer acquisition and lead generation. How do you get eyeballs awareness about what you do?
Yeah, so I do a lot of organic content. We do a lot on Instagram, on LinkedIn. TikTok is one of our larger channels, although funnily enough, and this is something I talk to my clients about, is around the vanity metrics. TikTok blew up for us probably about a year ago. But even though it's our largest channel in terms of number of followers, Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook actually are probably still our largest lead generation in terms of our organic content.
If you think the creator economy is really interesting, then I got something for you. On milliondollarcreators.club, we actually created a database of all the creators out there, and you see not just their fans, followers, subscribers, but actually how much money are they making. So with that, we bring now transparency into the creator economy, and you really see how are the best of the best get their customers, price their offers, create their offer stack, get customers, which tools are they using, how will they grow and triple their business going forward. So if that's interesting for you, including lists of who makes the most revenue, who has the fastest revenue growth, who has the biggest audience, who has the fastest growing audience, who makes the most revenue per follower, and who has the most exciting offer stack from low end all the way to the high end, then go to milliondollarcreators.club and enjoy the data. Right. You've grown your total audience from about 50K to close to 100K, TikTok being the biggest of 75K, so that's 75% of your audience. But you just said that the biggest lead machines are LinkedIn with 5K followers and Facebook with 1K followers. So that's interesting. That shows the value of the followers are quite different by platform.
Yeah, exactly. No, definitely. We find the quality of the followers on LinkedIn and Facebook, / Instagram a lot higher.
What's the funnel then from awareness to purchase?
Yeah, so typically initial awareness is generally through some of our organic content that leads to them signing up typically to one of our free training programs. So we've got some free training programs for business owners around just how they can start incorporating technology into their business, how they can leverage some free tools out there to streamline things. And typically that evolves into a level of trust where, and this is one of the challenges I think that's worked so well for us is there are a lot of people out there who talk about technology, who talk about what to do, but it's very difficult to know who you can rely on and who can kind of help solve the challenge that you're facing right now. And so through that organic content, we build that relationship. And that typically leads on to them either signing up to, our low or high ticket offer, or outright just sending us, it might be a request for proposal on a larger software project that they have going at the moment.
Before we continue, there's one favor I would like to ask. If you enjoy what we do here and you enjoy the guests that we bring, please join $1 Million Creators by hitting the subscribe button. And if you do, I'll make you a deal. I do everything in my power to make this show bigger and better for you. Do we have a deal? Enjoy the show. Right. What's been your secret to grow and convert your audience?
So when I first started growing our audience, I was very much focused on that the audience was going to be a lead generation tool for us. What I came to learn was actually it was the opposite. Growing our organic content supported our lead generation efforts in providing that social proof to people. So if I look at like when we first started the business, virtually every single call that we got on, the first 15, 20 minutes would be us sort of having to prove ourselves to the potential prospect at the other end. After we really started taking organic content seriously, that almost disappeared overnight. Everybody who got on the call would say, oh, I watched this video of yours, or I downloaded this free program of yours. And so they already felt familiar with myself and my team. They understood our capabilities and that we knew what we were talking about. And that to me was a real game changer. It meant that the quality of the conversations that we were having with people went up dramatically. And it improved our whole sort of sales pipeline.
Specifically, like which KPI did it increase?
Definitely conversions. It increased our conversion rate quite dramatically.
We're in a funnel, like the close rate, the amount of leads coming in, the show up, like where in the funnel did it have the biggest impact?
Yeah, so definitely increased the show up rate first of all. That was the first place we noticed an increase. And then absolutely in terms of the close rate, that was kind of the flow-on effect of that. We had better quality people turning up to calls, and then because they already felt familiar, because they already felt like they could trust what we were talking about, it definitely increased the close rate as well.
Right. Let's talk about the future. So can you triple the business to, what is that, like 3 million in the next 12 months? And what strategy or tactic will get you there?
Yeah, so for us, over the last probably 2 years, we've been very heavy on the sort of one-on-one aspect, and there's been a lot of time and materials type work that we've been doing to generate these kind of projects. Over the next 12 months, one of our big goals is we've started seeing trends in some of the tools that our clients need to grow their businesses. And so we've started building out some of our own software products that we can license to clients ongoing. And so in terms of hitting that $3 million mark, it's going to be a case of scaling through selling recurring revenue products that we've built ourselves, instead of necessarily just licensing other tools that people have built.
Right. What's the most obvious thing to build first?
For us, a lot of our clients struggle with things around data management and data analytics. So that's going to be the kind of obvious next step for us is something to assist clients with their day-to-day management of their business.
Okay, but you want to build your own data, like your own Google Analytics, essentially, or or Tableau or Looker Studio?
We work with a lot of e-commerce clients as well. A lot of the business owners that gravitate towards us are e-commerce clients. So, when you're talking e-commerce, there's a lot of data that you're dealing with. Data from manufacturers, data on your pricing changing constantly, and then not to mention all of your advertising analytics and that sort of thing.
Okay, was it like a segment.com data warehousing thing with a visualization on top?
Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Clear. What's the biggest potential channel to drive that massive growth for you going forward?
So it's interesting. I have had a lot of success in my career in building partnership relationships. Nowadays, it's often referred to more as like affiliate marketing or affiliate channels. I see it more as partnerships than affiliates, so to speak. And so I think for us, like as we continue to grow, there are a lot of businesses out there that align with us in terms of what they're trying to achieve for their clients, that we can we can partner up and work together on. They do the bit that they are skilled at, and we support with with our technology and our skill set to help grow. And so that way, we can build a network of partners across the world that know what we bring to the table and can help leverage that to support their business growth as well.
What's the biggest thing holding you back personally then?
That's a great question. Biggest thing holding me back personally, I think, is just knowledge. I continuously try and learn. I am always reading something or following some sort of new program myself. And so for me, it's just a case of up-leveling my own skills to get past, particular barriers, for example, in marketing or in strategy, to help us reach more people with our content.
Just real quick before we move on, I hear in 95% of cases, I hear my biggest thing holding me back is time. And now you come with knowledge. Like, how does that connect or don't connect? Like, how have you managed time, and like knowledge is a bottleneck for you?
Yeah, well, time is what I spend all day helping optimize for my clients, right? So I guess, coming from a software programming background, we like to joke that, like, as software developers, we're lazy, right? Because we don't want time to be the limiting factor. If time is a limiting factor, we write software to solve that time issue, right? So time is not usually the problem. If time is becoming an issue, that's just an indication to us that we have to write or find some software to solve that particular bottleneck for us. So so no, time is not the issue. It's definitely knowledge in my case.
Very clear. Next section is called Favorite 5. It's a fast-paced section, and you can answer in one word.
Yep.
Let's go. What's your favorite book or business book?
So Extreme Ownership is my favorite book. It's a great book.
By the Navy
SEAL. I recommend everybody should read it.
Yeah. What's your favorite way to get inspiration and to learn and grow?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I think it's become easier in recent years with the kind of growth in short form content. If ever I'm kind of having a bit of a mental block, I've got a few people I like to follow that you can just quickly absorb a bit of their short form content and get a bit of inspiration to get you back on track.
Right. That's a good segue to talk about the next one. What's your favorite person or role model that you're studying?
Yeah, so right now I'm studying a guy by the name of Jeremy Miner. Some really great content on sales psychology and how to improve your sales without feeling like you're being a pushy salesperson.
Right. Jeremy Miner, is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
What's your favorite event or conference that you have attended or would love to attend?
Ooh. I went to a very big e-commerce conference a year or two ago. It was actually it was a while ago now, actually, before COVID hit, back when we still had these massive conferences.
Right.
And just in terms of networking, that was amazing. It was all the who's who of the industry all in one place at one time.
What was it called?
I don't remember off the top of my head, actually. I'd have to double check.
Okay. What's your favorite online tool for building your company?
So I really like ActiveCampaign. I think there's a lot to be said about being able to drip information to people at a pace where they can absorb it, at their own time. And ActiveCampaign has definitely been a big improvement into our tech stack.
What's your favorite city or place that you would love to move to?
So I actually used to live in Austin, Texas. As you can hear from my accent, I'm from New Zealand, and I moved back to New Zealand during the pandemic. But I loved Austin. I hope to get back there one day in the future.
Nice. I spent March there with my family. I loved it as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What's the biggest thing on your mind right now?
Biggest thing on my mind right now is the this sort of product that I mentioned that we're working on. I'm really excited. I'm putting a lot of energy into building that product and getting a lot of market research around what it's going to need to do to solve kind of problems for our current clients and future clients. So market research, I think, something that's very undervalued, and I'm spending a lot of time doing a lot of market research to make sure we get this right.
Personal section, how many hours do you work per week?
It's a good question. I think I keep it pretty reasonable. I do the sort of standard 40 hours, but I'm sure if you ask my wife, she would say a lot more than that.
Yep, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Well, how many hours do you sleep per night?
What was that, sorry?
How many hours do you sleep per night?
Oh, I definitely sleep kind of 7 to 8 hours a night. Sleeping is not a problem for me.
And what's the situation? Married, single, any kids? You're married?
Yeah, married and a couple of kids. Yep. So yeah, actually the sleep lately has been not as great because I've got a 6-week-old.
Wow, congratulations.
But before that,
what does a couple of kids mean? It could mean anything.
Two, yeah.
Dude, yeah. I got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, so I'm in the trenches with both hands full.
Yep. Yeah.
How old is your second one?
So I've got an 8-year-old and a 6-week-old. So yeah.
Okay. So there's the gap. I think the gap is good. What's your age?
I'm 37.
Final question. I want to also give some advice for the audience. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Yeah, I did not appreciate the importance of a personal brand early enough. If I look back at what I've achieved over my career and then could supplement that with more focus on kind of personal branding and kind of taking social media a bit more seriously, then that would definitely be something. If I could go back in time and start my kind of personal branding journey earlier, I definitely would have done that.
What problem does it solve for you? Like cheaper customer acquisition?
Cheaper customer acquisition, higher quality of customers, just much better social proof all around.
This is Charles Nicolson. He shows business owners how to grow their company without growing their headcount by actually being the puzzle piece maker, bringing all different tools together, and also building his own custom tools. He is proven he has built and sold his SaaS before starting with his business right now. If you want to work with him, you can jump on demand, done with you content programs that start from $97 a month all the way to $2.5K a month. But then there's also custom builds. So if you want to do it done for you, then you can also do that. He knows all the tools in the market that are relevant in order to build an effective and impactful business. He right now has 75 clients and has cracked the $1 million mark with the business doubling revenue compared to last year, which is amazing. Team size of 12, payroll and tools is kind of like the biggest cost items. And he gets customers through organic content, free trainings, how to leverage tools. And with that, then going into sales conversations where the leads are actually pre-qualified and pre-sold. So it's much easier than to close, which was one big learning that he had. With that, he actually also doubled his audience from 50K to almost now 100K over the last 12 months, with TikTok being his biggest channel, but actually the one for conversion is LinkedIn and Facebook. And now next he will take it to the next level. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your passion, Charles.
Yeah, no, thanks again, Matt. Had a great time today. Thank you.